WordPress was created sometime back in 2003, and at the time of its inception, it was typically started out as a blogging platform, as a web log. So someone to create a web log or a diary. And so one of the things that confuses users is what's pages and what's posts. So as it started as a web logging platform, initially WordPress focused essentially on something they called as posts. So it was an option for users to create diary entries and for WordPress to then start showing those diary entries in a typical way. For example, I can be here and I can see that there are a few pages, and I'm going to take you through a couple of pages. So you have your home page, you have your about page, you have your services page, then a contact page. I also have a blog, and I can show you what the blog implies. So when I go to the blog page, I can actually see that there can be multiple blog posts. So this is one of those posts. I'm just going to go create a post. I'm going to call this my second post, and I can have some, and typically with a post, here's my post content, and I can also, when I am clicking into the post title, I can categorize that post, right? So I'm going to go second category, for example, or seconds, for example, and I can add that new category, and it's categorized as seconds. Another thing I can go and do is provide what they call as an excerpt. This is like a short description. I'll just call this my short description. I can provide something they call as the featured image. I'll see if I have some library items. No, I don't. I'm just going to choose and find an image and upload an image, this one. And you can do this with pages as well. So you can upload images for pages as well. But for this, I'm just going to quickly add an image. And the next step I'm going to do is, you'll notice that I have options to preview this. I'm just going to quickly preview this in a new tab to see how my new post will look like. Here's my post. It's got a date, it's got some content, and it's been categorized under seconds. So we'll do that. We'll just click, we're happy with this. I can go live with this immediately. Now, you will notice my menu items keep changing. One thing I need to do is ensure that I'm in the title to see this block reflect the overall post information. What I want to do is ensure that I can actually publish this, and I'm going to publish this straight away, and I can now view my post. Here's my second post, and I can navigate to my previous post using this link here. Again, your typical theme can determine how these posts look, but if I go back to my blog, do remember I only had one post under my blog. You'll now notice that there's two posts. There's one showing a sample post here and another with my second post, and you'll notice that only the short description is showing. We'll see how we can set these up in a bit. There are options for us to set these descriptions, the short description, to show up here on the blog main page. When I click into the post, here I can have tons and tons of content. The actual post content will show up. I also have options to leave a comment. Since I'm logged in, I have a comment form that's slightly different. So posts typically also have options for you to comment. Posts have options for you to categorize them. You can also add something called as tags. So, and with posts, you can see that they're being arranged in a series. So you can arrange them in a series, and you'll notice that my latest post is coming up here. If I add a third post, just going to title it third post. I'm not going to bother with adding any images. I'm going to categorize it as this, as such as news. I'm going to say, here's my excerpt. Third post is awesome. A wonderful news post. here is some content, and that content could include things like images. Just go back and we'll just upload an image or choose an existing image from our library. We'll just go with the previous one and we'll hit publish. Now when we go back to here's our third post. When we go back to our blog, you'll notice that there's a third post coming up first, the second post then, and then the sample post. If I click into third post, that's when I start seeing other content, because I'm only showing the excerpt on the front page of the blog. This ensures that you have like a short title, a short description. If you prefer not to show the date, we'll do that in a bit. It tells me that this is under the news category, and I can look at all the posts under the news category by just clicking on that. So only the 2 posts that fall under that category are showing up here now. And that's how, and so you can see a list of all my recent posts showing up on the sidebar for me. I can navigate to the second post if I want directly from here. And the featured image that we added to that post shows up nice and clear at the top here. Again, we can arrange these in any different ways and style them using code and the facility of the customizer. This customizer will come and have a look at the customizer in a second, but that's the typical difference between a page and a post. A post includes, is in my mind, a post is like a diary entry. Therefore, you are focused on dates, you're focused on categorizing the post as such. You have navigation to take you between posts. You also have the ability for your users to comment on the post content, because it's typically news articles and blog diary entries. That's what typically is used. On my own site, if you navigate to my site, you will notice that I've renamed my blog as Learn, and I have 4 different categories. I've categorized them under resources, SEO, and you'll notice the latest post is at the top, and as you scroll down you'll see older posts, and I've set up navigation so that I show the first 10 articles, and then you have to click next to go to the next series of posts. This way you ensure that you don't overload the system with too many posts. So because there's these many images to load, you don't slow down the system. So there's a navigation down there. You're not seeing the navigation here yet because there's only 3 posts on this blog page. But again, you can rename them whatever. But this is the key difference between a post and a page. A page is more static. It remains there. It's going to remain there for almost forever. You're not going to update it as frequently like your contact page. Again, how frequently would you update your about page or your contact page or your home page? Whereas your posts, you continuously can keep adding your posts, therefore keeping your content relevant to users. And this way, with pages, you need to make sure that you add a link to those pages. Otherwise, your people cannot find that page. So typically, once you added a page, you need to ensure that you add that page to the menu here or to one of your footer links menu somewhere, so that your users can navigate to the page. With posts, the advantage is you just need to create new posts. They typically get added to what they call as the blog archive, this archive page. As soon as you create a post, the post gets added here as soon as you create and publish the post. Again, you can keep your posts in draft mode. We'll look at that a little bit later, but that's the key difference between a post and a page. I hope if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in comments below.